I am currently standing at Esam Junction of the Accra-Cape Coast Highway. The road you see to my left leads to the town where the Ekumfi Fruits and Juices factory is located. The factory is one of beneficiary companies of the government One District, One Factory program. Now, the program was rolled out according to the government to provide jobs for indigents of surrounding community and improve their livelihood. I have in my hand a freshly harvested pineapple fruit from one of the farms of the Ekumfi Fruits and Juices Limited, located in Ekumfi. This fruit, like the many others in the crates behind me, is going to be processed into a finished product known as the Eku Juice. Now, the product is not yet on the market because the FDA is yet to give its approval and certification before commercial production will begin. In 2017, President of the Republic, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, was here on this land to cut sod for the construction of the factory. It is expected that in a few days he's going to visit the factory and commission it for commercial production to begin. I paid a visit to the factory to understand their operations, and to assist me move around the facility is the Director of Operations of the Ekumfi Fruits and Juices Limited, Frederick Kobina Akwa.
We'll take you around to see the compound, and then we'll walk through the process till we get to the finished product. But I need to add now that so far we have done 2 successful full line test run. Okay, what I mean by full line test run is that we have brought in pineapples from our farms, dropped them into the water bath, and then run through the process till we have the juice in the box. So that's what we have done, 2 of them. And then one of which we did with the FDA, and they actually picked samples. They have given us a few recommendations. So you see a few civil works around. Those are finishing touches that fell from the recommendations that we received from the Food and Drugs Authority. Ekumfi Fruits and Juices Limited is a premier One District, One Factory project commissioned or sought cut by His Excellency the President on the 25th of August 2017 to begin the project. Now the project, we put it in 3 phases, and that we are going to merge at a point, and that's what we are seeing now. What we did initially was to begin to work on our raw materials. So we did a lot in terms of growing our raw materials, mindful of the fact that pineapples cannot be conjured, so you actually have to grow them, and they have a long time for maturity. It is between 12 to 14, sometimes 16 months. So we needed to keep an eye on it if our factory should be sustainable. And the second one was to put up a building like where we are now. And then the third was to buy machinery to process these pineapples. Our pineapples will arrive in this bath. Okay, there's a water bath that the pineapples are arriving from the farm. So these are fresh pineapples, freshly harvested from the farm. They come here, go into the water bath, and the water bath conveys them up into the factory itself. So the pineapples will arrive from the water bath in this conveyor. So they will come up like that and drop into this basin. When the pineapples are dropped into the bath, anyone that is not good for processing will sink. So the good round whole pineapples will float. Anyone that has any dent or anything that will not make it wholesome will sink. So the rest will come. But should one be so stubborn that it stays up, there are still human beings to take it out, so that the best and choicest pineapples go into process. So it comes through this one, gives it the last bath. This part is a sprinkler that does the last one, but it comes with brushes. So he sprinkles it for the last time, and the brushes will clean it, and then ready for processing. So at this point, the pineapples are dropped into this crusher. I call it a crusher. It's a polyfruit, but it's a crusher and separator. So what it does is that it crushes the pineapples and separates the pulp from the peels. So the pulp now begin their journey down here into the waste. Okay, no, the peels. So the peels are dropped here, and they run through like this, so they are dropped. Then the pulp also comes through this one for squeezing. This one does the first level squeezing, This one does another squeezing. And this one does the final squeeze. This is the finisher. Okay, so at this point, the peels are already down here, but they've been separated from the first point. So the peels are down here going, and this is the pulp after the first squeeze. So you have some chaff. It will expel it from this point, and then take it through the pipes to that point to do the final one. So this is the finisher. So here, the pulp will exit here as well. It will be exiting for all this while, the juice will be going up. So from that point where it is crushed, the juice that comes will pick the first pipe. See the pipe, one. Okay. At this point, there's another level of juice here. So you see the pipes are two. Okay. When it finishes this one, the last level we pass here. So you see the tubes are three. Okay. So all are juices that will go to the receiving tanks. So at this point, it is juice. This one is what we call the CIP. This is what holds the chemicals we use in cleaning the factory, the pipes, etc. So it's a complete system. Yes, an automated system that goes to clean, because after juicing, if you shut your machine down, and you need to wash it before you do another process. So you see that they are branching off. All the three that came are branching off. You see them? Okay, so these are receiving tank. So whatever processing comes here, it receives to a certain level and begins to pump to the other tanks. So all of these are the processing machines. This one does what we call bonding. And then they are brought to the heartbeat of what we are doing here. Now what this one does is to do the sanitization. Okay, and it goes through a process called pasteurization just to give it a longer lifespan, but it's just the juice. That's where the heat will come in to treat it, etc. So at this point, it is clean and good for consumption. It is perfect for consumption. Then it comes straight into packaging. That's what we call the high care area. This place will be glassed, so we cannot even watch in or sneeze into this place. Okay, in order to come in here, you need to go through sanitization. So you are sanitized from head to toe, because this is the only point that the juice that has come from this place will come in and go into the pack. So you didn't want anything to disturb it after going through the sterilization process. So this is the Tetra Pak line, and that is the can line. So this one does the canned juice, like the can, 330 cl can. That is the line, that's the processor. So that's the machine that does all of that. The juice, so the juice from this point will either come here or go there. Okay, so from there the boxes are ready and they come through this hole. If it is canned to it will come through the same process. They come through. So this is the can lines, and this is the Tetra Pak. So the Tetra Pak will come like we are seeing here. So that's how they will be going. At this point, the straw, if it's working, you see the straw attaching. So at this point, we do straw attachments. So after straw attachment, they come to the printer. This is a printer. So this one prints the dates, batch number, etc. here. You know, I told you it's 100,000, and they are coming one after the other. So, and it's going through packaging. If you are not careful, the people working will be overwhelmed. So this machine, what it does is to create two tracks. So one goes there, so that you have two people working here. And then they go to, because from here they are going to packaging. And then it comes to, so this machine actually packs them in 6. And pushing them through this rubber here. And then they go through the thermal shrinker. This is a thermal, it uses heat. So the rubber will come on it like this. Okay. So it's loose like this. So they come through here. This is a heater. This will cool it. So this is a heater, this is a cooler. Because you don't need a heat to be around it too much. It is just to shrink the rubber, and then it will push it. So once this one is hot. This was very hot.
Okay.
Point. Then we go to our finished product warehouse, which is outside. But that's also yet to be completed.
I have with me here two of the staff who have very interesting stories about how they got to be part of the company and how their job here has transformed their life. Hilda and Patrick, welcome.
Thank you.
Share your story about how you got in here.
Actually, I was mobile money agent. Then I came to Ekumfi Fruit and Juice. When I came here, I was just a cleaner. But unfortunately, I found interest in the welding. And then I joined them in welding the machines.
Oh, so you actually did what? You welded this bit we see here?
The pipelines and then the hose as well.
You had no knowledge about...
No.
You had no knowledge about welding whatsoever?
I had no knowledge about the welding. But when I came here, I found an interest in it.
So what else do you do here?
Well, for now, I'm still under training. That's the Tetra Pak machine.
Yourself, what were you doing before?
Oh, actually, I'm jobless, and I was employed at the Ekumfi Fruit and Juice. And
So
actually,
before this, you had no job. You were just at home.
I'm just at home, and I was employed as a worker here. So I was trained how to fix the machine. Yeah, we started with the Italians. We was trained how to fix the machines, and then later on, the Chinese people came, and as well, we are under training.
On a daily basis, when you come here, what do you do?
Okay, actually, we are under training, still under training. My colleague here, we are training us as a Tetra Pak operators, so we are under training, still under training.
After the tour of the facility, I requested to visit one of the farms to ascertain their readiness to commence work and confirm the assurance of the sustainability of their business. According to Director of Operations of the company, the farm, which is located a few miles away from the factory, is one of 19 such plantations. It is manned by 20 men who previously were fishermen. So far, they have cultivated 60 out of 100 acres of land.
Flowing from our plan to get the community involved in what we're doing, we visited the communities and then told them what we're coming to do, and then they expressed interest in farming. For us, it came as a surprise because we're going to look for, people who are really interested, and these people came together and said that we are fishermen, but with this coming to our district, we want to be part of it. So we took them on with a pinch of salt. For some of us, how well they were going to do. But they began, and then we saw that, wow, these are people who came to us telling us that they haven't even grown tomatoes before. And we put them to farming, gave them the training, and then they are doing well. So we gave them the necessary support. And this that you see here is what they have done. 20 of them have done all that we see here. And so in a closed season for fishermen, for them there was no effect, because this program is such that it's not like the company itself wanting to do farms, but then the community can set up a farm with our collaboration, and then we produce, and then we share depending on what agreement we put in place. So the communities themselves, the towns in Ekumfi, are kind of coming up with their own farms. This is a shared grower farm, so this is like the company and then the group, and we have 19 of such. The towns themselves are coming up with their farms, so it will be like the company and the towns. The traditional council will also do same, and it goes on like that. We are with them from the point of land preparation to here, so we give them the technical support from day one. So we don't have issues like pests and diseases, etc. We nip them in the bud once they come up, but we are in control of the place. Our projection, we are doing 5,000 acres per annum. But we are saying that we don't just need 5,000 acres. We need triple of that 5,000, because there will be times that we have to leave this farmland, this parcel, and move to another parcel to grow there, so that we can get this parcel to rejuvenate in terms of its soil nutrients.
I want to just have a word with some of the fishermen who have become farmers and are collaborating with the Ekumfi juice and fruits factory to produce the pineapple fruits that we see here. Nana, let's say. Inti ebane say na o ye wadwen say obe join farming way.
Bra waka the made man ban na yen that room for robotuma band. So yeah, starting na idea hushim kakakra. Yen hu na adwuma na ye fine. See you wouldn't kakakra bibia ko ye fine.
And how do you compare way ne and yeah, now was sitting in times past, net saying.
Oh, CCR the Uyachin can my first in your settlement.
Okay. Now also, your Friday.
From Paul.
Paul, now also, a Juma we are all yano, who is saying plantation.
Mamma went there, West fighting, don't know. Immediately, I will be on all the way here. What a fighting, Sunday. Sir, fighting what my boat me a judgment. I don't be able to channel there. But say, behind a course, someone when you want to want to do them fighting about my and yet. And see, immediately, West fighting over my moon. The motion you will be on what fighting.
Let me speak to some more here. Okay, let me speak to you. But now, so how do you factory saying abe boamo ewo Ekumfi?
Musumu ne juma wazibanu juma pa ma Ekumfi pa. Nti yeguso yali juma nkakakakra. Nti aka kakra bi obi anu baton. Nti juma waziba juma papa. Nti yeguso yali
and to much younger ones who have joined. Na ansana obe join no na oyeden.
Oh, na minye maybe ba me ba na mo de one factory ye more. Na me bla bi de me ba na me ye adwuma na bi.
Inti namun ye adwuma. Inti factory we na abebo mo anye bibi kakra mo ye.
Pache yo. Na I say me so driving ka ba I say almost say we mbo asin driving team na so me ba no.
Into buy and what has been the change and what will be the advice I would be my old friends?
Oh, this year I'm say dream I say a dream made me jay by almost say men say dream in come away me to Febin school. This year no me go so I me go scam book school.
And so you find that a lot of them have been impacted in diverse ways since they joined the farming business. Some persons have expressed reservations about the name of the product, Eku Juice. However, justifying the decision to label the fruit by that name, operations director of the company, Frederick Kobna Akwa, said it was the best name they could come up with to project the town.
I have said a time without number that what we have as Eku Juice is actually coming from a long name, Ekumfi Pure Juice. Ekumfi because before we set up this project, we did soil tests and a search across the country. We got the feedback we got from this was that Ekumfi has the land most suitable for pineapple cultivation. So we decided to set up a factory that uses pineapple as a base. We couldn't have gone anywhere than Ekumfi. You realize that if we are talking about poor districts of Ghana, we will mention Ekumfi. In fact, central region will narrow down to Ekumfi and a few others. But having tested the soil and looking at the potential, we saw that, wow, let us project Ekumfi to the world. So we have a project coming up called Ekumfi to the world. In so doing, we named our product Ekumfi Pure Juice. But you see, we are not looking at Ghana as our only market. We are looking at international. So although we have the Ekumfi Pure Juice, you also want another one that is a bit catchy. And so if I want you to shorten or get me a catch word from Ekumfi Pure Juice, if you have any other apart from Eku Juice, you can let me know.
Frederick Akwa was not pleased with the fact that a section of the public have resorted to mischief and politicization of the project.
We're praying that the negatives of the politics will go down a little bit. This is for Ghana, and that's what we try to project every now and then. It is for us all. It doesn't matter. I know even if there's no change in government, as in this government, there will still be times that things change even within the same government. Okay, so we hope that this one will stay, because this one is a private business or a private venture that has had enormous government support coming under government's initiative program, One District, One Factory.
What's the staff strength, and how many people do you hope to employ in the whole process?
Okay, so in the whole process, I'm just checking that if we are doing a list per our projection, a single shift will be doing like 120, 130 people in a factory. Okay, both the post, the pre-preparation and then the post side, and then the processing itself with the engineers and all of that.
He also assured Ghanaians that the company has a sustainability plan as they have put in place provisions to ensure a constant supply of raw materials.
When we started in August of 2017, people were like, they are not doing anything. But we kept telling them that we are doing something. And what we were doing then was to keep our eye on the raw material supply. So we have grown our pineapples from that day. Okay, well, at least we have begun our land preparation, land acquisition, land preparation, etc. to this point where we have pineapple sitting in here. So we have done that to be sure that we have enough raw materials.
You told us what the fruit is going to be used for.
Okay.
Now we want to know the byproduct. What is going to happen to it?
So we began our project by looking at 3 uses for our byproduct. At the moment we are at 5 uses. Okay, so the first was that we're going to, because we still grow pineapples, we need manure. So we have a compost, we have dedicated a parcel of our land for compost. So that's our compost site. So our waste will go into compost that will be used as manure to grow more pineapples. That is one. The second one is that we have a company that is proposing to use our byproduct to prepare animal feed. So they are going to do feed that's going to go for cattle, sheep and goats, and then pigs. Okay. And the third, no, anywhere around. They want to site somewhere very close because this is waste that you need to cut into your factory. So it doesn't make so much sense if it's cut to a very far place. So it's somewhere around here. They are also in the process of getting their land, but at least we can begin doing our compost. In the medium to long term, we hope to use this waste to generate energy as well, and then to do ethanol, because we are told every now and then we receive proposals. Just last month we received another proposal to use, because our machine separates the peels from the pulp before the squeezing is done. So the pulp actually comes out fine pulp, squeezed before it joins the waste. Now we have a proposal to harvest the pulp at that point and take it for other products like jam. Okay, and somebody else is proposing to use it for pineapple cake. So it's like in kati cake kind of thing. They explained that to me in that sense. So that's what is going to happen to our waste.
So these are considered like mini factories of sorts out of what you have established here?
Sure. And because of the volumes we are talking about, it might not even be mini factories, because we are processing 10 tons of pineapple per hour. So we're going to generate a lot of that. So it might not exactly be mini factories. They are going to be factories, actually. So we're going to give birth to a lot more factories around Ekumfi area.
To measure the level of confidence among the residents of Ekumfi, I visited the township to interact with the people, focusing on the youth.
From Jesho Kofi. Na one district aba someone the pass aba. Like ebobo me edwuma ye na ade. Mo kwa na me edwuma ho. Abo me like me phone na do cry you see. Nta me abom pa. Mo jeje so bobo me amfo na ade.
Nti na wo ye den edwuma ho.
Na me mo concrete side. Here na e concrete na ade.
Until before company no ba chrome has say no now we then
let me maybe now but so on the street aba na mo sim ko hwese me edwuma ya so mo kwa na mo say opportunity want mo tuma
Rafa Pagasi sasa inja crowd dance ma o no ma one district one factory be the na denche yeah my name actually one meter she will break about fixing machines or behind tomorrow 1 week from now I actually work or your mom in or we are waiting for them to call us to come and do their job.
Okay, so how did you hear about the one district one factory program from Accra?
It was through my boss. They came to how do you call it, to cut the sword here. So it was showing him that he called me from Accra that I should come and work.
How has it changed your life?
Oh, actually, after when I was in Accra, I wasn't working. But as I came here, I've had a job doing here. And if I not even say it, something for me to buy food without for me to sit down to steal. Something for me to buy food, it has helped me.
Banadata, yeah, na I know the
district, one district, one factory, now by Yokrum. By the reason is, you call for a Jumana, Omkatine, the Omope University for. So the JHS for na area school. To me, me the emboa because me call mom family. Maybe me nua bia na say maybe na bia ebeboa na ebeboa na dia ba me de makwa am say te bia me nua no ofri azere ba na maybe obekọ university a ye be fa na me de JHS into omo say omo family.
With the businesses that are going to be set up in the town as a result of the establishment of the Ekumfi Fruits and Juices Factory, the jobs that some of the youth are optimistic they will gain, and the prospects of an economically viable town, it is evident that there is much to expect once the factory begins operations. Iledi Jonah, ABC News, Ekumfi.